Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to make a really easy potato and chicken nugget meal in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, it's not a big deal. You can cook it in the oven too. So let's get started. Okay, so I've already washed and scrubbed my potato. So I'm just going to slice it thin across the top. Like I said, pretty, nothing crazy, but we don't want it to take forever to cook. And, nobody's going to come over and make sure you're doing this perfectly. Obviously, be careful and watch where your fingers are toward the end. Okay. So I'm just going to lay all my potatoes out on my cutting board. Let me see if you can see that. Oh, man. Okay, now we're going to drizzle it with olive oil, salt, pepper. This is all to taste, of course. I tend to like stuff rather salty. Onion powder. And garlic powder. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, don't even know if you can hear me. I forgot to put my earbuds in. Okay, so after we get that all over the top, I'm just going to massage it onto both sides. And sometimes, yeah, probably this time, I don't feel like I get quite enough on everything. So I like to go back and add it to this side. Let me wipe my hands off. So, same thing. Olive oil, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. All right, now I'm just going to make sure everything is coated so it tastes good through every bite. We're doing the air fryer today. Oh, look, hello. So mine always starts at 400, so I've done a lot of stuff at 400. So I hit air fry, start, and it's going to preheat. Okay, once it is preheated, I like to, I've already been cooking today, throw in, that is just parchment paper. It came from Amazon, but I've cut my own parchment paper and just used it that way. So I'm just going to make a line. It's not going to be perfect. They can overlap. It is not a big deal. Of my potatoes. And once I get these all in here, I'll cook these for about 5 minutes. And while that cooks, I will start on my chicken, meaning the seasoning for it. All right, so now we have just a layer of potatoes. I'm gonna throw that in and check it or pull it back out in 5 minutes. Okay, for the chicken, I usually get the large bags from Costco. Go ahead and cut them up and portion them into sizes for my lunch. So I'm going to use the exact same ingredients that I used on the potatoes on the chicken. The only difference is I'm going to have one chicken hand, one clean hand. So the only thing that requires 2 hands is the pepper. So I go ahead and put pepper on my chicken. If I forget, then I just grab the shaker of pepper. No big deal. So I want these to be kind of like chicken nuggets. I don't want to go through all of the dredging process. So I just take a little ranch. I mean, truly just a little, just to make everything stick. And I just drizzle a little bit on there. Okay? Like truly a little. Dirty hand. Or, you know, the chicken hand. Okay, so it already has the pepper. And now it has a light coating of ranch dressing. Okay? One, that's going to give it flavor. Two, it's going to help everything stick to the chicken. Okay? So, we're going to add salt. Already put pepper on. Onion powder. Garlic powder. Okay. Now I'm going to rub everything around and make sure all sides are coated, right? And the last step is breadcrumbs. Now these are Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, but I still like to add a little more garlic powder and a little more onion powder. So all I do is shake a little. I don't know why I said little like that, but anyway, I shake a little bit on the chicken. Move it around, make sure it's coated. Okay, and if it needs more, add a little more. Of course, that was just going to fly out. And run that around. I don't know why I said run either. Toss that around in the breadcrumbs. So now everything is coated. Once the timer goes off for the first 5 minutes of the potatoes, I'm going to put the chicken on top of the potatoes, cook for another 5 minutes. Then we'll shake it, kind of stir it around, cook another 5 minutes. This was frozen, so I may need to go a little bit longer, but usually the 10 minutes is more than enough. Now, if you don't have an air fryer and you're doing this in the oven, I would start your oven around 350 to 375, depending on how hot your oven gets, and just really do the same thing. Okay? All right, the first timer went off. I have I don't know if you can see it, a little browning on some of the potatoes. So I'm just going to take the chicken and just throw it on top. Doesn't matter where it goes, because you're just going to shake it around soon anyway. Just try to separate it so it does cook evenly as I throw it right on top of another piece. It's fine. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go back in to the air fryer for another 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes has gone by. Let's check it and flip everything around. Okay, we're starting to get some good color. Probably want to flip the potatoes too. Just, oops, sorry. Gonna move everything around so we can get some even browning on these potatoes. Not even necessarily even, just, you know, both sides. So, just kind of giving everything a stir. I'm going to go back in for another 5 minutes, and we may cook it a little longer. It just depends. It's kind of one of those check and see kind of things. All right, it has been another 5 minutes. Let's take a look. Ooh, everything is looking nice. I actually think this is probably done. So, I think that was only 10 minutes for the chicken and 15 for the potatoes. So, I feel like everything's really done. Now, you can take a thermometer, meat thermometer, and check the chicken. If you're, you know, worried about stuff like that. I've done this a lot, so I feel like I can tell that it's done. You would do the same thing, of course, in the oven. 350 to 375, depending on how hot your oven gets. Check it every 5 minutes. Add the potatoes about 5 minutes prior, because it takes a little bit longer. All right, let me plate it up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this obviously looks like a ton of food, but I did put it on a smaller plate. Normally, I like to serve it with broccoli or some other green vegetable, but sadly, I'm out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to enjoy the meat and potatoes, but this is it. It's super delicious, super easy. Hope you try it. If you're not already subscribed, I'd love to have you. And if you could, give the video a like. Thanks. See you next time.